Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to the weekly Sadakayon program organized by Quantum Meditation Society London. In this program, every week we try to share something that would be beneficial and insightful, hopefully insightful and beneficial to all of us. Today, we are going back to something fundamental, something that we have talked about before and we will be going back to again and again in the future, and that is gratitude. I know that those of us who dabble with self-help, who want to figure out how we can live our lives better, how we can have heard of the importance of cultivating gratitude in our lives. The reason we need to go back to this is because this is absolutely fundamental. You can think of this as the foundation of building a satisfying life. You cannot build that building of a wonderful, satisfying life if you don't have the foundation of gratitude. But while it is fundamental, while it is core, it is also not something that comes easily to us. You will probably know already that the human brain, for evolutionary reasons, is has a negativity bias. We look out for negative things more when something that we perceive negative happens. We experience it more in and it leaves we remember it more, we focus on it more. So that is why just knowing about the importance of gratitude is not enough for most of us. And I myself have had the privilege of being on this path for more than 25 years now. And I know that this is something that we deviate from. It's very easy to deviate from that attitude of gratitude. And that is why we need reminders all the time, hopefully in new and fresh ways, to bring us back into alignment. When I was reading the Quran for the first time. When I was growing up, like many people, the Quran seemed scary to me. The Quran seemed like the impression I had gotten from a lot of people who were around me who presented themselves as being religious, or who I thought looked like, on the outside looked like what a religious person looks like. So growing up, I didn't have the most comfortable relationship with the Quran. I it's something you look up to, but you're kind of afraid of. And I just thought if I got into it, I just think I'll find more and more things to be punished for, and so on and so forth. When I got older and I was lucky enough to meet somebody who embodied what I now believe um, um, to be a truly religious, truly spiritually evolved person, and he made the Quran very accessible to me. When I reading it again, Okay, we are back. So, as we were saying, the Iblis refused to bow down to Adam because he was arrogant about his heritage, his pedigree, let's say. And because of this, because of his refusal to surrender to God, Allah, Bhagwan, he was ousted, right? So what he was sent from heavens to the earth for eternity, ousted out of the heavens, out of God's grace for eternity. And what struck me is not this, but what struck me is what happens afterwards when Iblis asks God to be able to enter the minds and bodies of human beings, because obviously he was very resentful towards human beings because they were the cause of his downfall, right? And the universe, God, Allah, in his eternal grace and mercy, actually allowed him to do that. And that grant, the last thing he said was, I will enter these human beings from the front, from the back, from the right, from the left, and you will find them ungrateful. You will find them ungrateful. When I was growing up, when I was thinking of sins, in Islam, Iblis is the one who drives us towards sins. I would hear of shirk being the greatest sin and lots of other kinds of sin. I would never have thought that his primary work, the tool by which he attains all the other things, is to make us ungrateful. And I later learned that the literal meaning of Iblis is to lose hope, to despair. It comes from the Arabic root ablas, lost all hope, lost the hope that whatever his circumstances, his or her circumstances, the universe can turn it around. So Iblis is the embodiment of pure hopelessness, pure negativity, pure lack of positivity. And the universe, God, Allah, Bhagwan, is the exact opposite. It's pure kindness, pure love, pure positivity, pure presence. And we human beings, we vacillate in the middle of it because we have our souls which carry the commands, the instructions, the guidance of the beautiful energy of the universe, but we are also susceptible to the negativity of the negative energy, which Iblis is the embodiment. So for us, as this is a big way of saying, for us as human beings, it's not so easy to stay in the positive frame of mind, the grateful frame of mind. And we have discussed why before, because because we have a body that's perishable, our subconscious has evolved in a way so that we put survival as our prime priority, and we're always looking for danger because that's how we ensure our survival. Because of that, that thing in our brain that we said about, we watch out for negative things more, we feel negative experiences more intensely, negative experiences get fast tracked into our memory. All those things happen because of that. And because of that fundamental negativity bias, it's not so easy for us to be grateful all the time. But, 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 what we have learned, I have learned from my personal journey is negativity attains nothing. Negativity, you may feel your mm, your feelings are justified, and of course, by human terms, it is most of the things we feel negative about are completely justifiable. Somebody has done something horrible to you. Of course, as a human beings, you will feel negative. If somebody, some you have been struck by some horrible natural disaster. Somebody I know just had their house burnt in the LA fire. Someone I know pretty well. Of course, as a human being, that's a life you built for, something you put work on, money in, build for years, for decades, right? So, of course, as a human being, you will feel it. And once we feel negative things, it's important to process them, let yourself feel it. But nothing, no progress, zero progress happens when you are in a negative state. When you're in a negative state, you are either there. I mean, if you're lucky, you are at the same place, you're probably going backwards. When you come out of negative state, you will probably find your relationships are a little worse. Your work performance has gone down a little bit. Your health is a little worse. Nothing positive happens. Anything, any little thing that has happened that is positive in your life was because you are in a open positive state. You may not be like saying, oh, this is so great, that's so great, but your overall state was an open state where you're willing to face reality, and and even better is like you were fully feeling motivated. You're feeling motivated, you were ready to go. All the things that are positive happens. Anything positive, look back at your life, you get a good job, your relationships are better. Anything good that's happened, even if it's a little bit, happens because from the little positivity you have. I mean, I welcome you to really reflect on your life, and that's why you will see that that's what happens. Anyway, so because gratitude is so difficult for us, we need to cultivate it consciously. It won't come automatically. It's something that we need to cultivate consciously. And research shows that those who experience gratitude, cultivate gratitude, feel many different types of benefit. There's a we live in an age where studies can actually look at our brain and actually look at how our brain changes when we experience or express gratitude. So what they see is like gratitude rewires our brain in many different ways. So one of the first things that happens is that it the our we know that the front part of our brain, this is where our prefrontal cortex is, right? And this is the part that of the brain that developed the latest and makes us human beings unique in the way that we can plan for the future, we can make sound judgments, and so on and so forth. So part of our prefrontal cortex is the medial prefrontal cortex, and that's a region of our brain that deals with uh, managing negative emotions. And what they have seen is that, or the studies have seen, is that this part becomes stronger. So you become better at managing negative emotions, and you have in general, you have better moods. Something else that happens when you practice gratitude is you have, it's again scientifically proven, it's not something I'm just saying. These are studies conducted with proper scientific rigor, which conclude that when you regularly practice gratitude, you have deeper social connections. Your bonds are deeper. You form deeper bonds. On a physical level, people who practice gratitude on a regular basis actually have experienced uh, relief from physical pain or decreased physical pain. So it's the practice of gratitude in itself is capable of reducing your pain. Same for sleep. Like people, they have seen that people who started practicing gratitude started sleeping better, meaning deeper and longer. So there are many, 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 many different benefits to practicing gratitude. One of the things that happens when you practice gratitude is that your brain starts releasing dopamine and serotonin, and these are neurotransmitters which we hear about all the time. You probably heard of things like dopamine detox, because what happens when we spend a lot of time watching screens and stuff, our dopamine release system gets messed up. Our brain doesn't release um, enough dopamine anymore, because we have now gotten used to super stimulating things. So our brain, our dopamine threshold of our brain changes in a way that is negative for us. But practicing gratitude helps you release dopamine, and dopamine is crucial. We were saying that anything positive that's happened in our life has happened because we were feeling positive, but better still, motivated, right? And dopamine is the motivation hormone. It it has to it is an integral part of the reward system of our brain, which again gets activated, studies have seen, when we regularly practice gratitude. And it is when the reward system is working properly that we feel motivated to do things, right? Just think of, if you're a student and you want to do well in your exam, or you want to go to a university, the idea of going to a particular university really excites you, or the idea of getting a new job really excites you. Think of someone who feels excited by the prospect of these things versus someone who feels very blah, who can't feel any excitement about the prospect of these things. What will happen? You won't be able to motivate yourself to work for it, right? So this is what happens when, for some reason, we get drained of all positivity, all hope, right? Lose we don't enjoy the things we normally enjoy. We lose all our motivation, right? So dopamine is the thing that will keep your motivation alive, and gratitude does that. Serotonin is the thing that will give you that sense of peace, that sense of well-being, that sense of stability, that will help you stay balanced and calm while you're pursuing your dreams. So this is not just something just you do because you think like it will help you go to heaven. This is something you do to make your life better right now. Gratitude is something that also we were saying that helps balance our limbic system. Our limbic system is actually a more primitive part of our brain. It's we also call it a part of a reptilian brain because it evolved a long time ago. It has more to do um, with our feelings of not being safe, our feeling of being threatened, and a lot of our self-destructive behavior happens when we feel super threatened, super triggered. And that happens when our limbic system is out of balance. So when we practice gratitude, again, studies have seen it brings us back to balance. It helps balance our limbic system. So it affects our right inferior temporal gyrus, it affects our hypothalamus, all in super positive way. Studies also see if you practice gratitude, then you are a better decision maker, right? And our decisions are what makes our lives. So when and as a from a spiritual angle, I know this, that we make the best decisions, we go for the best things when we are making that decision from a place of abundance. And gratitude is what takes us to that feeling of abundance. A little bit of sidetrack, but I have noticed in my own manifesting journey that I can manifest things when I just believe I can have anything I want, and I ask for, or I mm, enter the process of manifesting the thing that I really want without feeling any sort of constraint. But other times I have tried to manifest things that I thought were the practical solution, and I never, which were actually compromise solutions, which were compromise desires, and I typically can't manifest those because the universe, Allah, shows me again and again and again, no, you really wanted that, go for it. Like, Allah can give you anything. So if you're kind of like, you want 10, but you were saying like, no, no, give me 4, it's okay, I'm happy with 4. It's like, it's not very respectful towards him, and is it? So, it is the more grateful you are, you're more aligned to that energy of abundance, and the more your manifestation works. So it helps us make better decisions. It also helps us, studies have seen that it helps us make more productive. So you will do much more in the same amount of time if you are regularly practicing gratitude. And people have seen, and manifestation experts say, let's say, even when you want a new job, for example, so um, you may not be happy in your current job, and you want a better job. You are visualizing, you're trying to manifest a better job. So what manifestation experts say is that instead of trying to focus on the negatives of your current job, focus on its positives. If you focus on its positive, if you can bring yourself to a state where you are more positive about the current state, you are more likely to move on to the thing you want in the future, actually get the thing you want in the future, which is kind of counterproductive. You may feel like, oh, you have to give the impression to the universe, I really hate this, hate this, hate this. Give me that good, give me that thing, the better thing. But the thing is, when you're repeatedly sending the message of hate, 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 you cannot protect yourself from it. That will affect your subconscious, that will affect your body, that will affect your whole being, and then you are somebody who is emitting not positive vibration but negative vibration. That is why, if you want to find a new partner, or if you want to be in a new relationship, try to try to focus on the positives of your current job. It's really, really important. And in fact, self gurus also say, right? So in modern day language, we say, what you appreciate appreciates. So if you appreciate your relationship with your daughter, it will become better. If you appreciate how much money you have, you will have more money. If you appreciate um, where your child is going right, they will do more things right. If you appreciate the good things about your spouse and express it, that will help him do them do better. So this is what we say, but this is the same thing that Prophet Muhammad had said all those years ago. The way he put it was, gratitude puts the help you put harness your blessings. Gratitude that we are absolutely taking for granted. And what gratitude does is, like, when we are grateful, it means that we are giving those things attention. And when we give those things attention, they grow. They grow. So this is what all the religious and spiritual masters, this is why they try to help us make up for that fundamental negativity bias and bring us back to the truth, which is every second we are full of infinite, we are the happy. But then at the next moment, if I ask you, okay, what if the next moment I ask you, what if I tell you you can have the 10 million pounds, but you cannot wake up tomorrow morning. You won't wake up tomorrow morning. This will be your last day. Which one will you choose, the 10 million pounds or waking up tomorrow morning? You will choose to wake up tomorrow morning. So, waking up in the morning, having another day is worth more than 10 million pounds to you, isn't it? Doesn't your choice show that, prove that? So if this thing that you're taking for granted is worth more than 10 million, don't, or if you're a quantum member, you probably have a practice of saying thanks in the morning. But many of us, even if we say, we kind of sometimes just go through the motion without trying to feel it. So the truth is, as we said, every second we are the recipients of an infinite amount of bounty, infinite amount of grace. When I was 5 or 6 years old, I had this little book, a picture book called the Arrogant Kitten. So it was like we used to get these Chinese books at that time in my country. So this was about a kitten who was painted. So somebody painted a beautiful kitten, but the kitten was very arrogant because it was the painted kitten was very arrogant because it was very, 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 very beautiful. So then this color on you. The kitten said, so and so. So then whoever was asking said, let's take this off. But they took the paint off. Then they say, who drew this tail on you? I said, so and so. So let's take the tail away. Then they asked, who put this beautiful eyes, drew this beautiful eyes on you? And say, so and so did. I said, let's take that away. So you know where I'm going with this. Soon enough, the kitten was left with nothing but a like of some lines that it was about to lose. And that reminded the kitten that nothing that it was proud of was its own attainment. It was given all those things. And sometimes when I'm in a maybe in a meditation retreat and I've been meditating for a long time, I really truly deeply feel from the depth of my being that nothing is really mine. Like I couldn't, whatever I call me, whatever I call mine, the entity that I call I could not have generated those things. It's come from somewhere. Whether you are a believer or not, I think it's fair enough to say that we ourselves couldn't have generated this. So why not enjoy it, be grateful for it while we still have it? And that is what the gurus did. They did not, the spiritual masters did, they do not need anything special to happen for them to be grateful, because every moment they're connected to the bounty, the ocean of gifts that we are submerged in. And that is why taking away a little or adding a little bit did not make much difference to their everlasting joy. So we can reach that state if we want to. It will take commitment. It won't happen in one day. But in the meanwhile, we can just increase our gratitude little by little by little by little every day to life. And we can do that by many different practices. Of course, the one in quantum that we do is every morning when we wake up, the first thing we do is express our gratitude. Even before we open our eyes, we would say, thank Allah, Horiom, thank God, whatever is consistent with your beliefs. You can say, it doesn't matter, the words by themselves don't matter. It is what you're trying to express. They will all go to the right place. So we try to do that every morning. If you want to add to that, you can keep a gratitude journal and write 3 to 5 things every day that you're grateful for. You will notice that there are so many things that's been happening that you haven't been paying attention to that were good, and it will make you feel good to revisit those good things that are happening, to revisit those feelings that you had when those good things happen. You can also, very important, express gratitude more. You express gratitude to the people who are helping you. Like, do you how much you really appreciate all the things she has been doing for you? Have you ever told your teacher all the things that he or she has been doing for you? Who are the people who have made a major impact in your life? Maybe it's your grandfather, but do you feel embarrassed to say those things? If you do, um, please don't. Write them a letter, write from your heart all the things you like, and then read to them or send it to them. And studies have shown that this creates a huge increase in our happiness levels. In one particular study, people who wrote this, and but they were not able to actually read it to the person they wrote to, maybe because the person had passed away or for some other reason, they experienced 2 to 4% increase in their happiness levels. And the people who were actually able to read it, whether it is to the mom, their sister, a friend, a teacher, whoever, experience a 4 to 19% increase in their happiness level. Side that changes our situation, and then we will feel positive. But the way the world works is first we need to feel grateful, and then our life becomes greater. So whatever situation you are in, um, I'm sure there are many, 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 many things to be grateful for, even now. And the sooner you can take yourself to a state where you are grateful for them, the sooner your life will begin to change. And that's something that I surely know, something that I've learned in my life. So that was our topic for today. We hope that this new year that we have in front of us, that is supposed to be a year of achievement for us quantum members, um, we can begin it was our topic. I hope that it resonated with you. I will play the meditation. I'll play happiness again today. We will soon will be playing some new meditations that are coming up in the future. Um, and as always, please give me a minute to play the meditation and let me know in the chat if you're having trouble. Thank you.